Okay, now we're going to run some of the programming on the different equipment. So to start with, I'll show you how to run the lights on both your handheld and your power pad. They both work the same. The important thing with running lights is firstly making sure that you have that L setting set up on your controller. And it's very important to ensure that if you can see here, and you will see on your user guides, it's critical that any item with lights is plugged in to the port here that says WLP. That stands for Wave Light Pulse. So you want to be certain that anything you're trying to run with lights is plugged in there. Put that up the right way. So the first thing we do, again, is we plug the battery into the battery port. Let's do that a little bit more tidy for you. So into that battery port, again, it should go in nice and easily. Switch that one on. And the battery comes on. Then we're going to plug our power pad, which I've got one here, into the port that says WLP, because we know that we want to run the laser program, the lights program. That one's in there now. So we put that away. We know from before that we programmed some lights into program 1. So we press start, locate program 1, press start, and those lights should come on instantly. So we can see that there. This particular power pad here is also a pulsed magnetic therapy power pad. So if you've got a pulsed magnetic therapy item, you should have received one of these keyring testers. This is how you can test that your pulsed magnetic therapy is working. So to test, you need to locate your coils, which if you feel around, there are some here, you can feel them. They feel a little bit like a coil, so you'll feel a bit of a ring. And if you hold your tester nearby, you will feel, and I can feel that's running quite quickly because we did set that up at a high frequency. Or you can also, see if I can show you this, you can also hold the keyring quite close to the coil and you will get the PMF flickering there. Again, I set that one up quite high so that it was very visible for you. Now, if you do have massage in your power pad or in your handheld, the same thing applies. We make sure that we've got some massage in the setting. We know that we programmed massage into program 1. So we press start. And immediately you should feel the massage panels moving. It is a little bit difficult to see through video. But you should be able to hear. Of course, our model horse here is a steel horse, so he does rattle a little bit with the massage, but that should run instantly once you've set your settings up correctly. If you are running one of our handheld units with lights, pulse magnetic therapy, or massage, you'll find that the same theory applies. So earlier we learned that we programmed pulse magnetic therapy and lights into program 1. This particular handheld unit does not have massage. If yours does, will look slightly different. So we navigate to program 1, press start, and straight away the programming for lights and also for that pulsed magnetic therapy, which it's a little bit hard to see. Hopefully you can see the pulsing there, is immediately running. So again, very important to ensure that what you're wanting to run on your device is programmed into that controller to the settings that you require. There are a few tricks to running your power pad and making sure that it's positioned well on the horse. These power pads are designed to be very adjustable. So what that means is you're really only limited by your imagination on where you can put it on the horse. Of course, horses are all very different. Some of them are a little bit nervous of different things, so you'll need to be a little bit careful if you do have one of those. Some don't mind. In our experience, regular users of things tend to get used to things more. So do play around, obviously keep an eye on the horses, make sure that they're calm and relaxed. But there are quite a lot of different ways that you can attach the power pad to the horse's body. We have included quite a lot of straps, which I'll run through, which are quite adjustable. You will have received a bit of a user guide with your power pad as well, which models some of the areas that you can put the power pad on. As I said, very much limited by only your imagination, and do feel free to use other things. You might have different straps or things that you think you might find useful as well. One of my biggest tips for using the power pad, and you'll see this on the user guide, is to make use of the surcingle that you will have received with your power pad. So if you pop the surcingle around the horse, what you'll see is there's Velcro on the surcingle. It's a little bit hard to see here with the rug underneath, but so you can Velcro your controller and battery to that surcingle, and that means that the weight comes off the power pad. So sometimes if you're trying to put the power pad on a side panel or a shoulder, the battery and the controller can make it topple over. So I really do recommend popping that controller and battery on the surcingle. Then your power pad here is much more able to be adjusted and strapped down into place. You do receive 3 different straps with the power pad. You receive one here, which is directionally running this way. So very handy, particularly in the girth area. You can run it around the shoulder, play around with it and see what works. This one, which is directionally running backward here, in case that's not showing up. Really good one for going around the rump, making sure that that's really secure there. And then you've also got a smaller strap at the front here, which you'll see, which is a little bit skinnier. And I find that one quite useful for if you're trying to put it higher up the neck. I also here, in this particular example, have attached the skinnier strap to the surcingle. So that just means for me, it's not likely to fall back down the rump. He's fairly securely attached here. I've gotten a little bit creative. The straps can be a little bit long, so particularly if you're trying to attach to a smaller area like around the neck, perhaps on the shoulder like was shown on the picture, that's on purpose. They're long so that you can have optimum amount of options for attaching the power pad. So what you'll see here, I've actually just tied this one into a bit of a knot just to give it a little bit more security. I find that's much better than making them a lot shorter because, then you're limited with your options. So do get creative with that. As I said, it's limited really by your imagination and how tolerant your horse is. So do be creative with. So you will find that your power pad has got quite a long cord that runs from the mechanism up to the controller. That's on purpose. So that's because we want to give you the maximum amount of adjustability. So if you've got it strapped, up around the poll or the neck, that you can then have the controller back here and have everything running. If you find that it is too long and it's getting in the way, you can actually unzip the controller here and just curl it up a little. Be sure that you're not folding it up too tightly, but you can actually just pop the excess in there. I recommend putting it on the side that's away from the horse so that it's not impacting any of the therapies. Just zip that one back up, right up as tightly as you can. And then you've got a much shorter cord, so there's nothing, hanging around, dropping down for the horse to trip on.